This, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Rob Warner, UK living mountain bike legend. You're famous, aren't you? You're big time, pretty much.
I don't know about that.
I'm
big.
Here. You're big.
Yeah.
You're at an event like this. This is obviously, we're here at the Mountain Bike World Cup, and although you're not racing, you are here in a you know, legendary capacity. You're one of the Oakley legends, of course. You sign a few autographs during this weekend, don't you?
Do a bit of mooching about. Yeah, it's all right. I sort of present some of the shows now as well for the internet, so I think people probably know me more for that than actually when I was racing.
Do you miss it? Do you ever watch the guys come and think, oh, fancy a bit of that?
I do. Like, I walked down this course a couple of times, and, you know, I look at lines, and yeah, and I do miss it. Your heart rate's through the roof, your arms and legs are packing up, and you've got to pedal into the finish. It's dangerous. There's big rocks everywhere, and you're going way quicker than you should be. And
go on, tell us about the course, because you were just saying, obviously the flat part on the top, it gets a little bit rocky. Then once you're in the trees, a bit more natural. But then the bottom, bit flat as a pancake.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with this track, ultimately, is it's really fast, it's really rough, and it absolutely pummels you. And by the time you get off this top section, which is all about carrying speed through these turns, it then goes into a middle section, which is quite more natural, with some woods and some tree roots, which usually catches some people out in the race, especially if it's wet, because it comes lethal in there. And then it opens out into that massive, long, sort of flat-out pedaling back into the finish area, and that really sorts them out. And a lot of people will tell you that's where it's won or lost. And, you know, like historically it is. Last year, I think, you know, Sam might have won it if they'd stopped the race at the bottom of the trees. And Minardo, he's an all-round package, and he was, you know, on the pedals, clipped in on that finish, down that finish straight, and he won it. So.
Do you know what you said there? You said how it's brave, you know, a bit of bravery comes into it. Like, downhill racing is mad, isn't it?
For me, the big attraction I always really got a buzz off. All this, everything in the few days building up to this, all the setup on the bike, all the practice runs, all the trying bits comes down to one race run tomorrow. You've got one shot at it, and you know, you've got to go way beyond your comfort zone. You've got to just death grip, not touch the brakes through sections, and really hang on, and really, you know, you'll be bouncing off things and thinking, Christ, I just got away with that, thank God. And that's exciting, you know. I don't think there's any other sport that really comes down to that like that. It's such a high pressure sport, and it, you know, most sports you get two runs, but it's one, and that decides it, and that to me is what makes it like no other sport on the planet, really.
What can we expect from this event?
From this event, I think it's one of the best on the World Cup calendar. You know, you've got the biggest crowds here. We've got the sun, unbelievably. Whoa. You've got arguably the fastest racetrack. In my eyes, probably the most dangerous racetrack of the year. If there's one place you don't want to crash, it's Fort William. It's so dangerous and rough and fast, and there's just big bits of granite sticking their ugly heads out everywhere. So, you know, it's going to be awesome tomorrow, and it really ain't just about fitness here. You know, to win here, you've got to take massive chances, especially on that top section, and it's a man's race. You know, a lot of the guys we were talking to a minute ago, like, were saying there's no feeling like it. You know, you're absolutely dying coming along this finish straight. I mean, that's like probably a quarter of a mile out and out sprint, and then all of a sudden you crest that hill and you're off the brakes, slightly weightless, and it all opens up before you know there's like 10,000 people down here waiting for it. Yeah, for me it's like probably the best race of the year. Who's
going to win it? Who's going to take the win here?
Well, that's
you going to go with Sam Hill?
No, I would go with Greg, actually, with Greg Minnaar. He's won here the last two times, hat-trick this time if he can do it. He won round one, you know, he's really motivated. He always delivers, like, every time. He's never, I think he's only...
call him Postman Pat, because he always delivers.
That's right, yeah. Although he doesn't like that.
Oh, doesn't he?
Not that cool, really, for him, but...
They call him the mailman.
That's right.
If Greg Minnaar wins, you're going to sing.
On air.
Go on.
Manamana. Manamana.
I like him.
Manamana.
Fantastic. Well, look, clicked his fingers early on down at the bottom, and look what happens. Somebody
that's the nice thing about racing.
Just arrives with please, thank you very much. Here, Rob. Thank you very much. There's your
there's your drink. Thanks.
It's not screw cap.
That wasn't so cool, was it?
Now, obviously, you're an Oakley legend. You've been riding for Oakley for years and years and years. Now you're a bit of a brand ambassador. However, wasn't always plain sailing with Oakley, was it?
We had a bit of a sour point.
I
got fired.
You got fired?
Yeah.
Why did you get fired?
Well, I was lucky enough, it was only me and James Cracknell, you know, the Olympic rower, so I was way above my station. And I got given a Ford truck, a big 4x4 thing, you know, pickup thing. And Like, I've never had a brand new car in my life, and I built a big jump for it. We used to hit this jump at about 50 mile an hour, but it was unbelievable. Like, suspension was so amazing. You'd land and it'd be like, and you'd bounce a few times. So we spent hours and hours doing that. And anyway, cut a long story short, it just progressively got worse.
Yeah.
And the bloke who came to get it said, that is by far the worst one I've ever collected, and that includes one that had been used in a smash and grab and recovered from the bottom of a lake in Scotland. and then I got fired, obviously. I feel bad about it, but it was such fun. Yeah. And I knew I was never going to get another one, so just crack on with it, innit?
It's what they say in court more often than not. They sit there in the dock and they say, I'm really sorry, but it was so much fun.
Yeah, yeah.
On that bombshell, it's time to say goodbye. Don't ever change, Rob Warner. Don't ever change.